My eyes have seen the garbage that's a smouldering on the grate. We must stop incineration before it is too late. Unless we wish the dangers, we had better separate, and we must do it now. And in Italian, no agli incineratori, no agli incineratori, no agli incineratori. Esiste un modo migliore. Zero waste, refugee zero.
Well, what I like about coming back to Campania, and I've been coming here for maybe at least 20 years, because I think the first time I came was the fight against the incinerator in Terra. And what I liked about the campaigning is the passione, the passion of the activists in Campania. You have a difficult problem with the Camorra and the politicians and so on, but the cittadini have the passion and really fight very, very hard.
No, you can talk
okay.
weird.
Yeah.
Without a question.
Of course, 20 odd years ago, it was much more focused on stopping incinerators. Now, of course, we have a positive message. We don't want incinerators, but we do want zero waste. And it's very positive. Everything is yes to recycling, yes to composting, yes to reuse and repair, yes. And we have, with the help of Dr. Franco Maroni, Dr. Franco, we've had trouble in the beginning persuading Naples to go zero waste. So what Franco's strategy was to go around to all the communities in the area of Naples, surrounding Naples. With his help, we got over 20 communities in the Naples area to declare zero waste. Naples was literally surrounded with zero waste, and eventually Naples itself, I remember that was a very exciting day when Naples, with Mr. the Major Sindaco, what's his name? Magisteris, very important man. As a senator, he fought the mafia, and he knew what he was in for. And he had a very good vice mayor at the time, Thomas Sedano. I think he's got into problems since then, but he was a zero waste activist. So we had the mayor and we had the vice mayor, and I remember giving a presentation on zero waste in the municipal hall, and afterwards the mayor and the vice mayor, they endorsed zero waste. Naples, zero waste, we couldn't believe it. And of course, and we knew it would be difficult for Naples to do this, because this is not an easy city. But I think you've now got over 40% of Naples has got door-to-door collection, which is key. And that's exciting. Now, the big problem with Naples, you don't have yet a composting facility. So even though in some places you're collecting separate organic waste, it is being shipped a long way away, and that's not good. And I have some good news. For Naples. I haven't been able to share it with the decision makers yet, but I'm coming back in a few weeks' time. But I was in Malaysia, and they were using 2 organic treatment technologies. One I knew very well, vermiculture. I saw vermiculture, worms devouring the garbage and making worm compost. I saw that in India. In India, they've got very good vermiculture. And I went into this facility in Malaysia. It was a big sort of warehouse with like a raised bed, and 150 tons of organic waste was being chewed up by those worms. No smell. And it seems to me that that could be done in Naples itself. You don't have to take it a long way away. If it doesn't smell, then the citizens will not complain. But there was something that I didn't know, and that is that in Malaysia and a few other countries, they are using the black soldier fly larvae. The black soldier fly larvae. And I saw it first of all on a small scale in an organic farm. That was good. And then I saw it on an industrial scale. We went to a building which looked like any other industrial building in an industrial area. We went in, it was 4 or 5 stores, levels, and they were breeding the black flies, soldier flies, and collecting their eggs, and then hatching the eggs, and they became larvae. And then they feed the organic waste to these larvae, or the larvae feed on this organic waste. And as I said, it's done on an industrial scale. You have shelves of, about like a basin, a shelf, which you can pull out, and about 6, 7, or 8 of these stacked up. So you don't need a lot of space on the ground. You just build high. You could do this in a 5, 6, 7, 8-story building and use these trays, and the larvae, they consume these the organic waste. Any organic waste, they consume it, and they produce from it chicken feed and food for fish farms. And what's left over is also a compost. In some cases, they sell the live larvae, or they freeze it, microwave it, and sell it dry. But I was very impressed with this, because you could definitely do this in Naples. You don't have to ship it a couple of 100 miles. You could do it in Naples. It would look like any other warehouse, and because it doesn't smell, the only place which I was not absolutely convinced about, but you should obviously, the decision makers should inspect this system before you go for it big time, is the incoming organic waste. You know that that's going to smell. And they were saying that they treated it, they added a liquid to this incoming waste, and that's why it didn't smell. Now, I found that just a little difficult to believe. So if someone looks at this operation, please look at it when the organic waste is coming in. Look at it. What do they add to the organic waste, which they say doesn't smell? Because that's the problem usually with composting facilities. It's the odor that you get. It's not the operation itself. It's the odor of the incoming operation, the incoming flow. If that organic waste has been sitting around for a day or two, it's going to smell. There's no way it can't smell. Unless they send it in refrigerated trucks, then that may be a possibility. But I was also intrigued that they're doing this in China. And when I was there, an expert had just come back from China, where they've got this same industrial operation. And I want to stress, this is large scale. They can handle a large quantity of organic waste. So this may be the thing that the Naples area has been waiting for. And a private company, hopefully that would escape the attentions of the mafia, the Camorra. The zero waste is all about converting a linear economy to a circular economy. The linear economy, extraction, raw materials, transport around the world, manufacture of products, consuming the products, overconsumption of the products, and then waste. Okay, we need to convert that linear economy to a circular economy. Everybody agrees with that, and zero waste is the way to do it. But we should recognize we already have 2 circular economies. One is organic waste, food waste going to compost, going back to the food production, and so on. That is nature's circular economy. And in some cases, the organic waste is 50%. Maybe in the Naples area, it's 50%. So we should certainly grab that what we call low-lying fruit. You grab that. And the other one is reuse. Reuse is a circular economy. No new manufacture, no new pollution. Products that have already been manufactured are sold or given away to other people, from the rich people to the middle income or to the poor people. This is a circular economy. Books can go around, CDs can go around, furniture can go around, everything can go around essentially. Now, this tie is, I think this cost me $2. These trousers, these cost me €4. So my wife and I, we have fun. Oh, sorry. Okay, interruption. Now, my wife and I have fun going to these, what in the United States we call them thrift stores, a Salvation Army, Goodwill Industries, a Thrifty Shopper. So there's quite a number. And we go to them and we get our clothes, and I get my music, CDs, for $1. I get all my music for $1. You have to look through, but that's fun. That's fun. Now, it's interesting, different countries have different ways of doing this. In England, the high streets, the main streets, have shops selling new things, but they have lots of charity shops, help the aged, cancer research, Alzheimer's, all kinds of charities along the high street, and there you get the bargains. You can get your books and your CDs, some furniture but not much, and clothing. And in other countries you have a much more elaborate reuse operations. In the United States, in Berkeley, we have an operation that's been going for over 30 years. They gross $3 million a year. And there's 37 full-time people working at this. So jobs. The thing about reusable objects, low volume, only 2% of the total discards, but over 30% of the value. Excuse me. In Sweden, in Gothenburg, they have a reuse park. A whole park for reuse. And when you walk in, there's a band playing. And when you walk around, there are clowns to entertain the kids. And when you go to the toilet, it's an art gallery. Paintings all over the walls. You can sit there pooping and choosing your picture. And then they have rock concerts. And the entrance to the rock concert, the kids have to collect 20 PET bottles and bring. That's their entrance ticket. Of course, they enjoy that. But my favorite is the famous Swedish separating dog. This dog can separate mixed recyclables into 6 different categories. Now, if a dog in Sweden can separate into 6 categories, surely we can get human beings to separate into 3. Recyclables, compostables, and residuals. That's what they're doing in San Francisco. They're up to 80% raccolta differenziata. And of course, in Italy, you've got over 1,000 communities getting 70% raccolta differenziata, and over 300 getting 80%, and some in the Treviso area getting over 90%. So there's no question, with zero waste, we can get big reductions in the waste going to landfill, but maybe 80%, San Francisco, 80%, the other 20% has to come from industry playing its part. Zero waste is a combination of community responsibility, the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, and compost. But industrial responsibility is redesign. We have to say to industry, if we can't reuse it, if we can't recycle it, if we can't compost it, industry shouldn't be making it. One last message. If you're an activist, it's very important that you are not as miserable as the thing that you're fighting. Whether you're fighting landfills, whether you're fighting the mafia, or whether you're fighting incinerators, you can't be as miserable as that. You got to have fun. And the fun of being an activist is the people that you work with. You're going to make friends which are going to last a lifetime. And when you get a victory, you can share it with the whole world using these video cameras and the internet. That's what's really exciting. every success we get at the individual level, at the corporate level, at the community level can be shared with the world. Imagine that, young person who's watching this. If you do something creative, if you do something different and you capture it on video, you can share it with the whole world. And people thousands of miles away can benefit from what you're doing, and your community can benefit from what you're doing. That, I think, is very exciting.